Hi there! In this tutorial, we're going to learn how to make a teleportation key on your keyboard so that when this key is pressed, it's going to teleport the player to a different location in your game. Let us get started by going to the Starter Player Scripts. We're going to click on the plus sign and we're going to insert a local script. In your local script, just insert the following lines. On the first line here, we're declaring the player service, where we're going to use the player service to get the local player here. The next line, we're declaring the ContextActionService, where we're using the bind action API to bind a key on our keyboard. In this case, we're binding the T key on our keyboard with an action. The action is our function here, our teleport function. So when the player presses the T key, it's going to execute this function. The first parameter here is just a name. You can name it anything you want. And the third parameter here, if it's true, means we're going to place a button on your mobile device so that mobile players can also use this function. These three lines here, we're just loading the player, the character, and the humanoid. In this case, we're not using the humanoid, so if you like, you can remove this line. It's not necessary. Now, when the player presses the T key, we're connecting to this function, and in this function, we're getting the current position of our player, of the player's character. And to teleport the player to a different location, what we're going to do is we're going to use the current position, and we add and subtract a random number between -50 and 50 for the X position and for the Z position. So we're leaving the Y position alone. We're not changing that because we don't want the player to move up and down, but we're moving the player around the map by changing the X position and the Z position. And again, those numbers are going to be a random number between -50 and 50. So our teleportation key is going to teleport the player to a random location on the map. Let us play test and take a look. So here I am. I can run around the map. Let's say if I'm going between the fire here and the car, right? And I'm going to move out a little bit so we can see. And now I'm going to press the T key on my keyboard to teleport. You can see I have been teleported to this location here. I was over here between the car and the fire. After I press the T key, it moves me to a random location on the map. Let's see where it's going to move me next if I hit the T key again. Maybe let me run around a little bit. So I'm going to run towards the wall now. I'm standing next to the wall and I'm going to press the T key again. Let's see where I'm going to go to next. Whoa, I'm moving all the way over here. And that is how you build a random teleportation key in your games. The next thing I want to do now is, instead of doing a random teleportation, I want to build a key that is going to teleport the player to a specific location. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go to our home menu tab. We're going to add a part. And you can place your part anywhere you want. I'll place it right here. And now we're going to go to the parts property. We're going to look for the position property, and we're going to copy that position property. So right click, copy. Let's now go back to the local script, and we're going to teleport the player to that location. So here we no longer need the current position of the player. Also here, we're going to remove the current position of the player. We no longer need that position. And here we're going to teleport the player to the position of that part. Let me go back to the map and we can go ahead and delete that part. We no longer need this part. Let's now play test and take a look. So let me run away. I'm gonna be over here. And now I'm gonna press the T key to teleport. You can see it has teleported me to that same location where we placed the part before, between the car and the fire. One last thing I want to mention is that since we're setting the third parameter here to true, which means it's going to place a button on your mobile device screen for you to be able to click on to teleport. Let's now check it out on the mobile device. We're going to go back to the map here, and we're going to click on test, click on device, and now play test and take a look. You can see there's a lower button here, and if I click on the lower button, I get teleported. See the link in the description of this video for more detail on ContextActionService, including how to customize the image of this little button here and how to customize the location of where this little button is going to appear. Again, the link is in the description of this video. Everyone, thank you for watching, and we will see you again soon.